back with you. I'm writing sci-fi and fantasy science fiction pretty much exclusively. I have done some autobiographical, my personal history as a self-employed welder, metal fabricator, and my journey to being a self-employed or self-published writer over the years. But by far, the most interest I've had is in my fantasy sci-fi works. And recently, offshoots of my science fiction series, the Half-Rat series, 7 volumes that I finally turned into a novel in 2025. But mostly I'm talking about the journey of the self-published author. And even published authors, for the most part these days, it's a hard road. And it's readership. Print book sales are dismal, but there's still a following on ebook to the Kindle Unlimited style to the audiobook. Audiobooks are a big deal. And I'm not going to make it a lament. I did that last week. But I know quite a few self-published writers who have transitioned into helping writers to promote their works, because it's easier to try to make money doing the mechanics of writing than to actually trying to sell a published work, which there's a perversion to it, is to help people edit and do their cover art and fill out the entire process of self-publication and writing stories, being creative in general, which is to me at the moment, is a sad state of affairs. I don't like that direction it's gone, but mainly it's because there's no new generation of people reading. I mean, I follow Stephen King, and I love several different science fiction fantasy authors over the year. Dan Simmons, the author of Carrion Comfort, the Hyperion series, and the I believe The Terror, which turned into a TV series that was absolutely fabulous. And Dan Simmons passed away, and gone are the days for that, because there doesn't seem to be a lot of really just volcanically popular fantasy and fiction authors out there, and the new writing where people are interested in the new works. Seems like Stephen King has an eternal following of people wanting to see rehashed or revitalized versions of his stories he wrote in the 1970s, like The Shining and The Stand and whatever it comes. Just the style that he wrote. People aren't into that either. They're into the visualized version of his, the visual media versions of his stories. They're not reading his books per se. I mean, he always gets a good following when he brings out a new novel or whatever. Hell, I even bought his fairy tale, the story he came out with 2 years ago, which was okay. It was a 3-star read. It's a good-sized book. It was absolutely fabulous first third of the book, and then it wandered into his self-promotion, which, God bless him, he can do that and keep a readership. I can't. I keep trying to do something unique and hopefully interesting to young readers and established curious readers. I have my versions of my Worlds of the Orb series, which is alternate universe fantasy sci-fi with characters from fairy tales and fables, and how they blend into the modern universe. Not so much The Flash and the Thunder, which is a fantasy historical accounting of some events that occurred in Colorado in the 1950s, from my recollection, and then I fantasized it, of course, into a story that middle grade readers and up can enjoy. Then for my pure science fiction, which I do wander off, I have genetically engineered animals and AI component running a post-apocalyptic Earth. The series went on for 7 different volumes, 2 of which were written on the Amazon's Kindle Vella platform before I combined it into a novel, The View from the Clock Tower of the Starlit Sky. And it's pretty much a sci-fi, hard sci-fi novel. And then my fun tale about a cat and 2 artificially intelligent home appliances perform a Christmas pact and a miracle. It's a fun tale, and I've enjoyed this, and it's been one of my best sellers in the short story platform. But if you get on over to Amazon Books, check out Mr. Sandy Butt's Artificially Intelligent Christmas by W.C. Quick author, a half-rat science fiction series, or go for the whole novel, The View from the Clock Tower of the Starlit Sky, which won't disappoint. Well, everybody gets disappointed at something, right? But it's cheap enough not to disappoint, really. You can get an Amazon Kindle Unlimited. Each one of these stories about 16 to 20 cents a piece to read. Same with this, KU Kindle Unlimited. The Kindle ebooks are maybe 99 cents. Same with The Flash and the Thunder of the Starlit Sky. Easy reading, a little bit larger, novella style size tale with a follow-up novella, Thomas and the Rusty Strings of Death. He's 3 years older in Thomas and the Rusty Strings of Death. You might like it. Evil elves and sci-fi fantasy, and science fiction fantasy. Elves curse you anyway. They're not really noble. Elves are really dark, stinky guys with bad habits and pastimes and vampires and stuff. But yeah, get a chance. Get on over to Amazon Books. W.C. Quick author. Check out my work. I'd appreciate it, and you might find it enjoyable. Thanks for following me on through this, or showing up and watching it at least. Bless all you out there. I hope you had a great Memorial Day. Be well.